I've been away for almost a month since not much interesting news or games have been released on S&box. But since I came back recently, 2 games are returning to the platform. Both games are part of a small list of legendary and well-known game modes on Garry's Mod, and these games are Fortwars and Prop Hunt. Reminder, both of these games are still works in progress on S&box and are possibly subject to change. Let's start with Prop Hunt first, since technically this is the second time that I've covered it, but there is an update to look forward to for this. So I covered the development of this game over almost 2 years ago, and funny enough, well, last time it was made using the Entity system, this time around the same developer decided to create a team called Bolt Collective, which remade the entire game again in S&box since S&box's major switch to the now Unity-esque scene system workflow. I do have to say, this is probably one of the best game menus I've seen in a long time. Most games just have some sort of static text and take you right into the game, but slowly we're getting back into those classic 2000s fully rendered 3D menus. Moving on to the gameplay, it's your standard prop hunt, but with some twists. It seems like with this new version of Prop Hunt, the game almost forces you to move around the map instead of just sitting in one place. At the top of the screen, there's an indicator that lets you know you're about to have your location revealed.
Vape Nation!
This feature makes sense since it would create a challenge for props to not sit still and move around, making the possibility of slipping up and getting caught by a hunter much more exciting. The voice lines, which I assume are probably placeholder, were pretty funny, I'm not gonna lie. After a while, they might start to irritate your ears.
Yeah, dude.
This hiding spot is marblerific. If you don't find me soon, you're gonna make me go alpha mode, then what? Oh!
But again, work in progress. The map we played on was this sort of rundown apartment complex, which was a pretty tight map for prop hunt since hiding or just turning into objects could be a bit problematic with a camera if you're trying to pay attention to your surroundings. In terms of other features, there was a button which allowed you to clone the object you're looking at, making it even harder for hunters to recognize what could be you as a fake prop and other props around you. Switching over to hunters, most of it is pretty self-explanatory. You choose what you want as your primary and secondary weapons as a hunter, but there's a bottom tab which shows you 2 new abilities you can use to your advantage. There was a rangefinder and a scanner. I won't lie to you, while I'm sure these both are very self-explanatory, I didn't get the chance to use them because I was kind of lagging all over the place and insta-spawned into the game, but again, work in progress. For the time me and other hunters were looking around for props was pretty fun. Again, the voice indicators definitely assisted in some cases, making it a challenge for both sides instead of just one. This version of Prop Hunt focuses primarily on the core mechanics of hide and seek, but both sides have abilities that enhance the gameplay much further, increasing the possibilities of either getting caught or losing sight of which props are real and fake. I'm looking forward to playing this more when it becomes more fleshed out, and I definitely recommend messing around with this game if you get the chance to. Fortwars is another classic Garry's Mod staple that has returned to S&box. This game has been around for a long time. I'm sure it actually predates when I originally got Garry's Mod, and to be honest, I never really played Fortwars. But playing this game definitely made me a believer on why it could be fun to return to again on the platform. For those that don't know what Fortwars is a team-based or free-for-all objective game, where you have to create a fort and then capture a ball and defend it in your fort by holding it to win the game. The more time you hold it, the more points you get. Pretty simple, right? Well, yes and no. Fortwars has a class system which can get pretty wild, as each class provides you with a detailed description and loadout you'll be using. Some of these can range from tank-like classes like Juggernaut to Ninja for quick sneaky get in, get out type of moments, and Cat for whatever that class even is. I started off in basically a 4-way capture the flag type mode. Each person is assigned to a team which has a color, and we got thrown into the build mode, which would allow you to create your fort ahead of the fight round. This was pretty cool, as the building mode definitely reminded me of basically a game you would totally see in Garry's Mod. I tried to build a fort as best as I could, but in under 1 minute was definitely making me sweat under pressure. Skipping to the fight phase is where the fun really began. I picked Ninja just because I thought it'd be fun to run and gun when I get the chance. This was very chaotic but fun. Hit reg was pretty good, even though my aim was off, which again is a personal skill issue. But aside from that, the game did feel pretty intense as I was trying to get some kills in before forgetting that I needed to get the ball and hold it to win. Switching over to another map for the playtesting we were doing, this was another map built for a 4-way team showdown, and while it was only a couple of us, I can only imagine how crazy or even sweaty it could get with how this game plays and feels. Of course, this time around, I was doing my best to hold the ball, but General Scrat, the creator of the game, mentioned that their internet might go out due to some weather issues, so that was probably the best time for me to hop out for the time being. Fortwars seems like a very fun game to play if you want to feel that nostalgic itch again, or you want a simple competitive game to play if you're up for it. I definitely see the appeal of why so many people at one point played this game, and also why many people would really enjoy the game today. But these two classics are definitely worth checking out if you do get a chance, as it's nice to see more folks are trying to remake classic Garry's Mod games for S&box and a new generation of gamers who might not even know or played any of them. Aside from that, let me know how you feel about these games coming to S&box, and check out this new Flatgrass 2.0 update video. It's been like 16 years since it's gotten an update, and it's pretty cool looking, so yeah, thank you for watching.